Summary of the Veldt by Ray Bradbury. Lydia and George Hadley, who own a luxurious Happy Life home, believe that the nursery is not working properly. The Happy Life home is a futuristic house that is capable of automating practically every human routine. It is capable of cooking and cleaning, turning lights on and off, transporting the Hadleys to their bedrooms through an air closet, and even rocking them and putting them to sleep. While dinner is being made automatically in the kitchen, Lydia asks George to either look at the nursery or call a psychologist to look at it. The parents of the Hadley children walk to the nursery, which turns out to be a virtual reality room. This is a room where people can become fully immersed in a virtual world of their choice. It does this by getting telepathic emanations from the thoughts of the kids. George and Lydia are in the nursery, which is a perfect, three-dimensional copy of an African Veldt. Vultures fly above them, and in the distance, cats are eating something. George is amazed by the mechanical genius who had conceived this room, so he doesn't hear the scream. As George and Lydia get closer, the lions get feverishly and startlingly real. The couple screams as the lions run toward them, and the two of them run out of the nursery. George laughs and comforts Lydia by telling her that none of it is real while she cries in fear. She tells him that it seems too real. George needs to lock the nursery and tell Wendy and Peter to stop reading about Africa, she says. George agrees and locks the door. He tells Lydia she needs to rest because she has been working too hard. Lydia says she hasn't been working at all, which is false. They should turn off the Happy Life home and go on vacation, she says. It's clear that she wants to do regular human things again and feel necessary. Later, George goes back into the nursery and thinks about how his kids used to make up wonderful dream worlds. They have made Veldt, but it doesn't feel as good now. He thinks that there is too much death in the Veldt and that it can't be good for the kids to think about death all the time. He also thinks that kids think about death all the time without really understanding it. The nursery doesn't answer when he tells it to get rid of the Veldt. When the parents ask their kids about the African Veldt, Wendy and Peter act like they don't know anything about it. Wendy quickly changes the scene in the nursery, just in time for George and Lydia to see it again. The kids are put to bed. Then George finds a bloody and chewed-up old wallet in the nursery. The little girl's door is locked. George and Lydia talk in the middle of the night and agree that their kids are freely disobeying them. They have been spoiled and need to be taught a lesson. They decide to let their friend David McLean, a psychologist, look at the nursery. They then hear screams that sound all too familiar coming from the nursery and realize that the kids have broken in through the locked door. Peter tells George not to lock up the nursery the next day. They talk about how George and Lydia might turn off the power to the whole house for a month. Peter says this is a bad idea because he hates the thought of having to tie his own shoes and clean up. He gives George a hazy threat and then leaves for the nursery. David McLean comes to check out the nursery and says it does not feel good. He suggests that they destroy the room and bring the kids to see him for help. He tells them that the nursery has become a channel toward destructive thoughts and that Wendy and Peter care more about it than their real parents. David and George turn off the nursery together. Wendy and Peter start to get very angry. As George turns off the rest of the Happy Life home, making it a mechanical cemetery, the kids beg and cry for one more moment in the nursery. George gives in, and the kids go in, feeling temporarily calmed down. When George and Lydia hear their kids calling for them, they go upstairs to change. When they run into the nursery, the kids have set a trap for them and lock them inside. They scream as the lions in the nursery kill and eat the kids. As David McLean arrives to help the family get settled in for their vacation from the Happy Life home, he finds Wendy and Peter having tea in the Veldt.
About the author. Ray Bradbury grew up in Illinois, Arizona, and Los Angeles. He is thought to be the most famous American author of science fiction and fantasy. He finished high school but didn't go to college. Instead, he got a job selling newspapers and started writing serious science fiction and fantasy stories. Dark Carnival was his first book, and it came out in 1947. He has written approximately 500 short stories, plays, novels, and poetry, as well as screenplays and teleplays over the course of a long and productive career. A lot of Bradbury's stories have been turned into movies, TV shows, and radio shows. The Martian Chronicles, Dandelion Wine, and Something Wicked This Way Comes are some of his best-known works, along with Fahrenheit 451. He won the National Book Award for Distinguished Contribution to American Letters in the year 2000.
Hope we summarized it fully and you liked it. Please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel so that we are motivated to create more videos.